Hey, and we're
We're
back.
back on the Cavalry.
Another episode of the Cavalry. Bare bones, just the
Just the
boys.
boys. The boys are back in
Yeah,
town.
boys
Oh my
will be
gosh.
boys.
I'm proudly wearing my Cavalry pin that Johnny
Ooh,
sent me in the mail.
exciting. Patreon listeners, stay tuned for that actually stay tuned for an email of me asking your address so that I can send you
Merch.
your swag.
The merch drop is coming.
Yeah.
Pins are good. That's like old. That's very old fashioned. My grandfather collected pins. You don't see people wearing a lot of pins anymore, but I think we're bringing
Yeah.
it back.
Yeah,
Unless they're like the American
skateboarders
flag.
and rockers.
Yeah. Politicians will wear the American flag pin,
Yeah.
but well, not me.
Not a
Forget
lot of politicians wearing the cavalry pin. Yet.
pledge allegiance to
the
my
cavalry.
podcast. And as you also sent, I don't want to spoiler alert for Patreon listeners. Turn this off for a second if you don't want to
Ruin the
ruin
surprise.
what you're about to receive. But keychains, which was in my house, there was a couple, and I actually put one on my set of keys. You know, it's a little big for the pocket, but
Yeah,
you know
I
what?
know.
That's okay.
I should have switched the sizes. I should have had the pin size. That one be the keychain size, but whatever.
It's okay. I'm used to having like the janitor keys anyway, so it's not a big deal. But then Heidi is like gets jealous. She's like, "Oh, I want a keychain," you know? And luckily there's two, but then also I was like, "Well, I don't want you to put it on because then it's like no one will know whose keys." Do you understand?
Yeah.
We have like the same keys basically. Few key differences. That was a pardon the
Ooh,
was not
nice.
intentional. But you can't have the same keychain as your spouse. It's chaos, right?
Well, what if yours is the one that has two cavalry keychains and hers is the one that only has one?
Great. Now I have like a comically large bulge of keys in my pocket wherever I walk around.
Yeah.
I don't want that. So I don't know what we're going to do, but then it did occur to me. I was like, would it really matter if she took my keys and I took her? Like, we share a car. I don't really understand why I care.
Yeah, what is the difference? Is there a difference of the keys?
I don't know. She probably has some keys from like some families she babysat for or something. You know how like you have keys on your do you ever like comb through your keychain? Do you comb through your keys to try and get rid of
Once
old
in a
keys?
while. I try to keep it light.
I don't. I don't know what's on there. So
Do you have keys that you don't even know what they go to?
yes, lots of those.
Are-
And I'm afraid to get rid of them because what if you like, you know?
Oh yeah. We have
So-
a dish. We have a dish on our windowsill that just has random keys because we're too scared to throw any keys away. So they just get tossed in there. So if we're ever like, hey, where's the key to this bike lock? I don't know. Check the bowl.
And now you have to try. You're like Indiana Jones. You have to like
yeah.
choose wisely.
Yeah.
That's a great security system actually to just annoy a robber. Be like, I'm not going through all these keys and trying all these.
Let's just go next door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm excited to get the merch, and
Yeah.
you know, gotta say, excited to be home. I was on a.
Oh yeah, so tell us about your trip. So is Bozeman different than Missoula? Or is that two different cities? You had a show in
Yeah.
each?
Oh yeah.
What?
Well, buddy, we went to Montana. Little road trip with Heidi and my daughter Ginger, and it's a long time in the car with a baby, as you well know. It's about like 5-hour stretches of driving, 6 hours from Bozeman to Spokane, which is where we stopped on the way back. So that was the longest stretch.
Okay.
Yeah, it gets a little like, for a baby, that's asking a lot. And I wouldn't want to sit. It's funny because when sometimes we'll sit in the back seat to like, mostly Heidi. I did most of the driving, but then sometimes I would sit back there, and I was sitting back there. I was like, I don't know how this baby is doing this. I couldn't do it.
Facing backwards, right?
Yeah, facing backwards, and
Ugh.
no phone. You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing back? Sometimes she'd be quiet, like, and she wasn't asleep. I'm like, what are you doing? Why are you not mad? You should be. Something wrong with you? just staring
Yeah,
at
why
the.
are you content with
Yeah.
nothing?
So no, Bozeman and Missoula are different. Missoula is very hippie, college town, like very nice. Very everyone's very friendly. Sporty. Everyone likes to do outdoorsy type stuff. It's a cool place. And Bozeman is also a college town, but it's also where like all the celebrities have moved who want like the big Montana ranches or
Oh, okay.
mansions. And so it's like super like expensive and it's like Beverly Hills in Montana. It's crazy. It's like
Is that where Zach Galifianakis lives?
probably, yeah, I don't know. But anyway, so it was interesting. But my wife doesn't like, she went to the rival college, so she doesn't like Bozeman.
Oh,
So but we went, I had a show there which was super fun, and both shows were great. So that was fun, and it was nice to actually do good shows because like when you book a vacation, it was basically a vacation that was like, I'll throw on some shows to like
yeah.
try
So
and.
you had that vacation idea first, and then you tried to
Yes,
fill it.
yeah,
Oh,
we
okay. Oh,
reverse,
nice.
and when you do that, sometimes you force shows in there, and then they're
Yeah.
awful,
A
and
lot
then
of
you feel
shoehorning.
real guilty for leaving the hotel room to go do this show to go bomb and not making it. But this was the opposite. This was like a real, like both were like very very
Oh,
fun. So
nice. And so,
yeah.
so Heidi didn't go to the shows, I assume.
No, no, no,
No.
no. No,
She's
well,
just
she,
being there in the
we
hotel.
can't bring the baby in there, and then also,
Yeah.
it's like the timing or what, and she doesn't care to see it.
Right. Seen it. Seen it. See what? Here's the thing: is so Ginger, yeah, car ride right now it's like frustrating because she's a baby, but she's probably close to that sweet spot where she can watch stuff. Like once she's old enough to like just stick a screen in front of her,
Yeah,
but not old enough to be potty trained. So you can just plow through. You can give her snacks you packed, and then she'll just
right.
shit in her pants, and it's fine. You don't have to stop. It's great. But then
Yeah,
once
so
they're
that.
potty trained, it's kind of a burden.
Oh, interesting. I hadn't thought about that because then it's like, oh yeah, that's where I think I'm gonna go the other way. I think like that's you break the rules for car trips, even when your kids are potty trained. It's like, no, we're going back to diapers just for this. For this
Oh
trip,
yeah.
everyone's going diapers. Mom,
Even
dad.
mom and dad. Yep.
Yep.
You know what's hilarious is we were on our last, not our last one, but we were on a long road trip, and Doug was like, "I gotta pee," and I introduced the concept of peeing in a bottle, and Aaron was like, "No, we'll just get blah blah blah," and I said it out loud, and then Duncan was like, "No, no, I want to pee in a bottle." He wouldn't go in the bathroom because he wanted to pee in a bottle so bad.
He brought the bottle into the bathroom. He's like, fine, we
Yeah,
can stop, but I'm still peeing in this bottle.
yeah,
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
I've not. I think I'd done that once, maybe,
Oh.
and with disastrous results. Like I, I don't think I like had a solid plan for like. There was no lid to the bottle. There
Oh
was
yeah,
like,
you gotta have
and
that.
it filled up faster than I thought it was going to, and
That's why you need the 32-ounce Gatorade. You can't do a
oh
20
yeah.
ounce whatever.
Well, theoretically, shouldn't you fill up whatever you drank? I mean, I don't know how. I'm no doctor, but like if you drink the 32-ounce Gatorade, right, you're gonna fill up at least that.
So are you one of these people that thinks that if you eat a cheeseburger, you're gonna poop out exactly that amount of food?
Uh, no, but like food, I imagine I guess you're absorbing some of the. Okay, I get it. All right.
I don't know. I'm acting like I'm smarter than I am. I'm sure I've wondered that myself.
Well, all I know is don't use the 20-ounce Diet Coke bottle
You know, it's the
because
worst, and
you pe-
I'm pretty good. I'm pretty trained and experienced in the getting rid of unnecessary stops and peeing in bottles. But it's not without its trials. I had one where I was like, okay, I gotta go. I had everything all set up, lined up, and then quickly realized, oh, my wiener is not in the bottle, So I'm literally just peeing in my pants and on the seat of my car. So what do I do? Well, I pull over, take out my phone, take a picture of my lap, and send it to Jason Russell. And say, guess what I just tried to do?
And then no other recourse, and then just get back on the road
Mm-hmm.
in your pissy pants.
What can you do? You know.
Yeah, it sounds like it would be simple. I don't know, but you're driving too. It's kind of, probably.
Well, here's what you do: you recline the seat, you scoot your butt really high, so it's like on the bottom of the back of the seat, while the seat's reclined, so you're a little higher, so you can get the bottle lower than your wiener, so that it's peeing down and not straight forward. And you just kind of you put it on cruise control. You stiffen your left leg on that little left panel, so you can kind of stand.
Yeah. So you've created your own sort of like urinal, like you said,
exactly.
You're like leaning back. I see. That's actually
keep an eye on it. You really got to keep an eye on it, and other drivers.
Yeah, I can't wait to try it. To be honest with you, I think I'm just gonna bust that out. Driving around Portland, just going to Home Depot, 10-minute drive.
There you go. Hey, listeners, if you want to try it, leave us a 5-star review. Let us know how it went.
Right. We only have one bathroom here at the house, so there's been time. I'm just going to go out to the car, pee in a bottle.
That's another thing. I have no shame. Like people, I'll walk from my car to the garbage can at the gas station, just holding a yellow Aquafina bottle.
What flavor is that? Did you get that inside or what?
Huh? And why do you throw away that full bottle of lemonade?
Yeah. So I mean, I don't like, I'm not big on driving anymore, but I will say, given the option of driving versus sitting in the back seat and like entertaining the baby and with all the stuff, and it was hot the whole way back, much rather be driving. So maybe this is a dumb question. Let's say it's a 5-hour drive. You got to go somewhere. Yeah.
Would you rather do that just the drive alone? Would you rather it be alone or with your wife and daughter?
Alone would be easier. The drive would be done easier, and there'd be less stuff in the car, and I would be driving both times. But I think I do this was more fun having my wife and daughter with me. So it's easier by yourself, but it's more fun, I guess, with your family. But it's also like doing the road. It's funny because this felt kind of like a road gig. It was like driving a lot, doing shows, staying in a hotel, packing up, going to the next place. And it is like it's so great like being done with a show, and if it's fun to be able to come home and talk to somebody about it, and say that it was fun, and then like sort of like have a drink or whatever. And so that part is great because I got me thinking about all the times where I've had fun shows on the road, and like, man, that was great. All right, time to go back to my hotel room and eat a Domino's pizza and stare at the wall.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh God.
So yeah, I mean, it's more. It's just so much in the I mean, you're like, you never really understand the like. You don't understand a lot of stuff people do until like you need it, right? It's like so cliche, but like the minivan thing, like I totally get it. I mean, I
love the minivan.
I would buy the biggest goddamn van. Forget minivan. I would get like the 15-person passenger van
economy
if
van?
I could. Yeah, just toss, and I would just have Ginger have like a whole road package that's always in the car, just like a set of diapers and wipes and bottles and formula, and just have everything always. So because like the worst is when the only way it fit in the Prius is if I put the stroller on the bottom. That was the only. I tried it every single way I could do it.
What do you mean on the bottom?
Because I had to like stack stuff on top of each other.
Oh yeah.
It's a Prius, so there's like in her.
Oh yeah, so you
car
gotta
seats in the
unload
back.
it when you need just the.
So you gotta
So
unload. So like we're just gonna go. Oh, let's stop in Butte or
yeah,
whatever and go for a walk. And it's like, okay, we gotta unload everything to get to the stroller and pack every. And then you gotta remember exactly how it fit in there. It's like I'm going. I get it. I would go
yeah.
biggest car. I totally understand it now.
I don't know what the stigma of the minivan is. Well, first of all, the economy vans. That's what I grew up because I'm one of seven. So our vacation, and it's totally. I mean, this is just a testament to how much shit has changed. It was two couches in the back facing each other, and you could
Yeah.
put a table in the middle, but we never put that in there because you could like lift up, like you could put them together and then put the backs down. So it's like the back, and then in the middle couch you just put the back down. So the whole back of the van is a flat, huge bed that all the kids are just loosely unbuckled, sleeping, laying, wrestling, doing whatever in. It was the greatest.
Sounds incredible. We had a station wagon, like the old Crown Victorian station wagon, and that had in the back, way back, the seats, like the conversation seats that would fold up in the
Okay.
where the the trunk would be or whatever,
Yeah.
and but sideways, so you're like sitting with your backs to the windows looking at
Yeah,
each
that's how the
other.
van was. Yeah.
Yeah, and those those seats were so disgustingly dirty because there's like lots of crevices because you're folding
Oh
them in
yeah.
and out,
Yeah.
and there were like so many discarded McDonald's French fries. My buddy, growing up, used to call it the McWagon. That's what he used to call our car because there were so many, just like concrete hard McDonald's French fries wedged everywhere.
Oh God. Yeah,
So,
when this minivan is done, we're getting another one. Exact same, just new year.
yeah,
We're up because I am such a proponent of the minivan. The
I
only con, and they're affordable because nobody wants to be the minivan like I have. Who am I trying to impress? The only person I'm trying to make think I'm cool is driving the minivan too.
right, yeah,
And
exactly.
like Jason, he's always like, "Oh, dude, never. Oh, you and your minivan." Like, who? You're 50. What do you? This is the most comfortable, spacious. It's more spacious than SUVs.
Yeah,
Oh, I love it. I love
I'm
minivans.
with you. I would go if we were, I don't know, like with one kid, maybe you can survive without it, but like just this trip, it's so much stuff,
Yeah.
and I don't think it gets. I guess when she gets older, it's not quite as much stuff. But the
Yeah.
other thing I never understood, which I'm sure you are a big proponent of, is at the hotel the luggage rack. I've never in my life used one of those luggage cart things.
No,
The
what that goes on top of the car?
No, at the hotel, like in the lobby.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh
And
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
I always would look at people with those like, you can't carry your stupid bags. How lazy are you? And now I was like, oh my God, if they didn't have that in the lobby,
Yeah.
I was like, you need to go find it for me because there is no way I'm doing 17 trips up this
Yeah.
dirty elevator. Yeah, the luggage cart thing. Oh my God, that's like,
Yeah.
I'm 36 years old. I've stayed at a million hotels, like, probably more
Yeah.
than most people. And I have never used those in my life. I'm like, oh my God, these are the greatest inventions
Oh, I know.
ever.
Such a lifesaver.
Yeah.
You're traveling with the family, you gotta. Oh my gosh, I saw this week. I saw there was like a huge backup on the. I don't know if it was the Beltline or some highway, whatever. I don't even remember where we were driving. But it was all backed up. We get up to where it was, and there was just clothes and shit and like someone on the was a car that had a bunch of bags on top. One of their luggages must have just flown off the top and just exploded all over the road. And like we're driving by it, and they're pulled over, and they're like getting out of their car, and we're just like, how the hell? This is a highway that people are just driving around their shit. Like you're not getting that stuff back. I mean, until the cops get there and just block 3 lanes, you're not going to get that stuff off the highway.
Think how embarrassing.
Oh God, I know.
I mean,
That could happen. I even said that to Aaron. I was like, I feel bad for that guy because that could easily be me,
So
and
you guys
probably
put
will someday.
stuff on top of the car?
Yeah, we have.
Oh wow.
When we would go camping, I had this. We have this trifold queen thing that's like super sweet to sleep on, and it won't fit inside. So I strapped it down with those ratchet straps, but I don't want it to get all crappy with bugs and stuff. So I wrapped like a tarp around it, and the whole drive, you're just hearing all these slapping because the
Yeah.
wind gets under the tarp and just bangs, and it just sounds like someone's trying to break in the whole drive. So I would like every stop, I just shove corners under and tie more knots, and it's impossible.
Oh my god. I'd be too. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah,
Well, so anyway, but it's good to be home, you know.
that's good.
And okay. So you want that's good pre-show banner. You want my first? This is my first topic. I'll go first because
Okay.
it relates to what we were just talking about. So I mentioned how I'd rather I'd rather drive than sit in the back seat. You know, some
Yeah.
people that get sick of driving. I would much rather. And it was really hot, and I was, and it's a bit like Heidi most of the time would go in the back and like take care of Ginger, and you know if she needed
Yeah.
it. Sometimes she was able to ride in the front with me, and then like she would sleep. It was great. But
Okay.
sometimes that wasn't working out, so she'd have to sit in the back, and like she did it most of the time, and I get it. It was, you know, hot back there, and you get car sick or whatever. There's like a lot of twists and turns in Montana, so. But I only did it for like an hour, and I had like a meltdown. I was, I was
Sitting in the
keeping it-
back.
yeah, because I was like, Ginger was like gonna melt down, so I was like singing to her constantly, or like playing with toys, or trying to feed her. It was like a nonstop keeping her from crying, basically. And then in my head, I was like, I'm going to throw up. Like I'm not getting enough air. Like it's way too hot back here.
Yeah.
It's you know. And so I was a diva. I was like, and finally Heidi was like looking at me. Finally, she's like, "Oh my god, you're being so sweet," because I was singing to her. I was like playing with toys. Oh, you guys look like so sweet back there. And I was like, I am miserable. I'm having the worst ride of my life. I feel like I'm gonna puke. But anyway, so
Can I just interject real
Yeah.
quick? So Erin is in L.A. visiting her friends, and they made a road trip to Idlewild for the night or 2 nights or something. She
Oh, yeah.
texted. She puked in the car. Her friend was driving. She's such a bad, like she gets so car sick. She puked in a cup in front of all her friends,
Oh.
and then just had to dump it at a gas station.
Wait. So she has that when you does she do a lot of the driving then to like stop? Because I have a
No,
buddy.
I usually drive, but I mean, I'm assuming her friend isn't going to listen to the podcast, but I don't know that her friend is the.
Oh,
She's
like
a
a
very
shitty
picky
driver.
passenger. She gets very easily like when I drive, she can't read or do anything. You know, she'll
Right.
get nauseous very easily. Like she puked her brains out on that little what's it called, the boat that takes you to the Catalina Island when we went there.
Oh yeah.
Like she just gets. That's why she would never go on a cruise with me ever, because she's just like, oh no, I would jump off and kill myself.
No, I know there is nothing worse in the world when you don't know the person well enough. I mean, I'm sure she knows her friend pretty good, but like maybe they don't have the relationship to where she could tell her how to drive.
Right.
Because you have to really know someone pretty good to like go, hey, can you just don't slam on the brakes or take this
Yeah.
corner a little slow? Because when you want to puke from being car sick and you can't tell the driver to like how to
Yeah.
drive, that is a horrible feeling.
Well, after she puked, she drove the rest of the way.
Yeah. So anyway, so Heidi and I had like a like disagreement on the air conditioning. So like I'm like I get hot way faster than she does. It's like 98 degrees everywhere in Montana last week. So I was like I just want the air on like full blast. And when I'm in the front, I was fine. But when you're in the back, you don't get as much air, you know? And so I get it. It's a 50-50 issue. She's too cold because she's in the front. I'm too hot because I'm in the back. So what do, right? So this is what I need backup on. If you're in the front, you can always turn off your vents,
Yes.
right? You can always direct the air away from you, or you can literally close the vent on your side, and so that all the air gets pushed out on the other side. So the preference should be higher air because you have control over the situation, whereas the person who needs the air and is not getting it I can't up it back here. There's no control, right?
There's no rear temperature control in the Prius. Like in a minivan, like in the minivan.
No, it's not a fancy minivan. It's just a humble 15-year-old Prius.
Oh yeah, that's sound logic. I totally,
right.
That's what I'll do when I get a little cold. I never turn off the air because then I'll just like get hot. I just so it's all blowing on another seat or away from me.
Aim it.
You still get the temperature,
back.
but you don't get the air. Yeah.
Right. I don't know. It's because air conditioning is a constant fight, and I guess it is like a gendered thing because I've read things like women run hotter than men, and this is a problem in like the workplace because office buildings will keep it way too cold, and then the women have to wear like coats and stuff inside or whatever. And I get that in an office environment you can compromise because there's but like in the car you can literally point it away from you.
Yeah.
Unless
you're driving my road car where the vents have all been smashed and don't line up and don't attach to the little thing that turns it.
Well, yeah, there's then I don't know what.
But that's
the argument is.
That's an anomaly.
I don't know. And Heidi is like not into air conditioning like in any like I think she thinks it dries out your skin, dries out the air. So like the second we go into a hotel room, she immediately opens the window and turns the air off and gets like, even if it's hot outside, gets fresh air in, and it's like, okay, but then we're going to be hot in a minute and then we're going to have to like redo all this,
See, that goes back to my question, which I did not answer because it makes me sound like a jerk, but I'd rather drive alone anywhere. I'll drive alone because I don't want to deal with air temperature conflict, music conflict, my driving conflict, any of that shit. My wife one time, this is a quote. She said, "Hey, it's a stop sign. You don't have to actually stop." And I was like, "I'm sorry. Did you hear yourself?" Because I didn't do a rolling stop. I stopped. She was like, "Well, you don't have to, it's a stop sign. You don't have to stop." Yeah, you do.
No, Heidi will. She'll like point out driving things too. Sometimes she's right. Like sometimes I'll miss whatever, and she's like, "Look out for that old lady" or whatever. But then she'll
sometimes you'll hit them. Okay.
Yeah, and I did graze her a little bit. That's my bad. But then she'll do the same thing where she's like, "You can turn right," and like that literally, there's like a sign like no right turn on red. Yeah. I'm like, "There's a sign that says right there." It's like, "Oh, well, I guess."
Yeah. Oh, sorry, nerd. Jeez, I didn't know we were Boy Scouts. Well, oh my God. So this is one I got to work through. I was trying to work this into a bit. This happened on our trip. I think this was right before we moved or right as we were like leaving LA. We were, sitting at exactly that. You had to make a right turn. And she was like, "Oh, you can just, you can turn on red, right?" And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I turned, and then she goes, "Oh, shit." And I go, "What?" And she's like, the camera just took a picture. There's a no turn on red." And I just went silent because less than probably 6 months before that, we had to pay, I think, $400 for a camera ticket that she got for doing exactly that in the minivan. It had video footage of a rolling stop. She didn't stop. It was $600 ticket. And if you go to court, they say, "We'll make it $400, take it or leave it." So we had to pay it. So I am fuming and just silent. And then something like, she just said something. And I was like, are you kidding? You told me to turn. I turned. That's why I'm angry. She goes, "Well, you didn't have to listen to." That was her defense. "You didn't have to listen to me." Are you kidding me? Oh my God. She thought she was innocent. Like, "Well, it's your choice if you want to listen to me or not." Oh my God.
Which is so funny because like you could get in the exact same trouble if you didn't listen. Like, imagine the situation if you just sat there and she's like, yo, turn right here. It's a red light. And you just didn't listen to her.
Right.
That would be a problem.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, I do have to listen to you. That's kind of the way I believe that's been discussed.
Yeah. I know I have to listen to you.
Yeah.
But what?
Oh, I was just gonna say, you said music. Like, what's funny about that is we don't even like the I don't know. We've never put in like a sound system or anything. It's just a crappy radio, right? So we usually just do headphones. At some point, she's gonna listen to it. We talk for a while, and then eventually she's gonna listen to a podcast or music, and I'll put in my headphones, and that's it.
What she does too.
Yeah,
her murder podcasts.
Yeah, exactly. But
why drive together? Why drive together if you both have your fucking headphones in?
Well, because we're going to the same place. It'd be weird.
I know that, but I'm saying as far as the drive, how does that make the drive more fun?
Well, there's parts of it, but I mean, it would be odd if we took different cars. I said, "Hey, Heidi, you know what? I'm gonna rent a car, and we'll just caravan." Yeah.
If me and my wife caravan, she would be texting me shit like, "Hey, Grandpa, pick up the speed."
So
then she'd be mad at me for texting her while I drive.
But what's funny is I felt like a psychopath a little bit because for most of the drive, I just didn't. So like when Heidi would put in her headphones, or Ginger was asleep sometimes, so we didn't want to talk. That was part of it. But I just would stare. I didn't have the radio on. I didn't have my headphones in. I would just stare at the road. And you're like, oh, were you taking in the beautiful scenery? Not really even that much. I just don't know where I was, but I was just allowing myself to like sit and stare. And I was like, whoa, this is what weirdos do. Yeah, I don't normally drive like that. Normally I have to have something, but like, I was like, wow, this is kind of crazy. Then I was like, how long can I go? Can I just like sit here and stare at the road for an hour, 2 hours? How long is it possible for me to just not have? And it was a long time.
Oof.
Because I remember, I forget who it was. I think it was Ron White, or somebody has a bit about like their radio got stolen in New York and they had to drive back to Texas, and all he had to listen to was like the sound of the wind or something, Yeah. And I was like, I remember hearing that bit. I was like, I don't think I could make it. And this is when I was younger, It's like, I don't think I could make it 45 minutes. Just silence in the car driving.
How long did you make it?
Oh, I could have gone 12 hours. I could have gone forever. I don't know what was. I was in the zone. I don't know what's.
Just empty that bed.
In me. I don't know if it's like I should be like a monk or something now because like it was incredible. I don't know what happened to me, but I really do you ever just not put anything in? Do you ever just like
but it doesn't last very long. Like sometimes I'll just get bored. Podcast, music, comedy, I switch and I'm just like, all right, I'm just gonna shut it off.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, what the hell what am I doing? I'm a lunatic here. I'm losing my mind. I gotta turn something on.
I don't know, it's kinda crazy. It was weird, but I'm into it. Silence.
Wow.
I'm going to try it at my house.
Reaching your zen.
Just going in the basement and stare at a wall.
Yeah.
See how long it goes. But it was a fun trip. Like I said, the air conditioning thing, like, if you're in the front, show some deference. That's all I'm saying. Yes. Oh, and then her point too was like, he's like, oh no, you can't have it on high when you're on the highway. The AC. Have you heard that before? Like, the car is going to overheat because you're.
I never heard that.
I'm like, yeah, that's for like trucks or crappy, This is a Prius, baby. This is like an energy efficient Japanese vehicle made to precise, specifications. This is not. You can have the AC on and be going 75 miles an hour. This is like.
Yeah. I never heard that before.
Yeah, well, they say that like if you're going up a pass, like there'll be signs that say turn your AC off because they don't want cars to overheat. But I don't listen to that.
I've never seen those. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention.
Like those don't turn on red signs.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, Johnny, what do you need backup on?
All right, so this is what I need backup on. Let me look because I already forgot. Okay, so I know what it is. Okay, so wedding gifts. I think wedding gifts should be, first of all, if it's not, they need to, I think we need to change just etiquette or manners to where not everyone is expected to bring a wedding gift. Okay,
Like
just
this.
if you're like, you got to rate, like, first, like, if you're a direct relative or something, or if it's not just a hard cutoff of no gift, yes gift, a tiered system, like, hey, here's the registry for our first round of invites,
Casual,
and then here's here's the registry for the people that we were like, oh, we're trying to balance out the guests.
But then that forces people really well to buy something expensive. Because, like, as currently constructed, the registry allows you to be as cheap or as generous as you want to be, right? Like, if you're the best man, you could still go to the bottom of the registry and get like a, keychain from the Cavalry.
On eBay, since they're not for sale.
Right. Yeah. Actually, they're actually pretty expensive.
They are, because there was only what was the sale? 10 for there was only
10 in the world.
Only so many made. Whatever the sticker mule sale was.
But no, I don't mean to interrupt, but I'm just saying that
yes, that's true. But I think there's an assumption that the best man is going to get more than the nice spatula or whatever for the wedding party.
Wait, I'll tell it. Wait, really quick. So, just to jump on this, Heidi and I got invited. I won't say. It's a comedian. 2 comedians got married, but I won't say who they are.
Ooh, post-show banter. Post-show banter.
Yeah, post-show banter. And we went to their wedding, and we did. We were broke. At the time, and so they had it on the registry, but I think we got them a candle. Like, literally got him a candle. And so it was like, it was not like a $2 candle. It was like a big whatever. And I told my friend Ryan, who's from New York, he's like, oh my God, it's like, that is so embarrassing. You should not just don't show up. You got him a candle. And so I was like, what? They should get, we were probably like one of the last few people they thought to invite. So it's like, they're probably happy we just got them something. Probably some people are going to this wedding didn't get them any, Yeah. Anyway, after the wedding, we got, I think it was through Target or whatever, we got notified that they returned the candle.
You get notified?
And
why did they register for it? Or did you just get a candle and it wasn't on the registry?
No, it was on the registry.
Oh.
But then we got them, and they didn't even get I figured, if they return it because they wanted the credit at Target so they could buy something else. And I don't care. Fine. It's your. We got the money back. So it was like, what? Were you just so mad at us that you're like,
God.
If you're going to get us a candle, we don't want it at all? Or like, did they think they were going to get the credit? I've always wanted to ask, but I've never had the balls.
I wish that when you return something, you could add like a memo. Like, there's notes here in the memo. It says, fuck you, assholes. Oh.
But it's like, first of all, it was on their registry. I want to reiterate that. And maybe it was, they put it on the registry thinking someone would throw that in with like another real gift.
Right.
But to take it back, and it's a candle. Like, everyone can use, it's not like it's like, we got 2. So we got to take one of them back.
Yeah.
If you have 8 candles, you can eventually use it. Know. It's a mystery. So anyway, sorry.
I don't know. And there's money. Just give them money. When you were, going through your cards or get whatever, I wish everyone like.
Well, hang on. Wait. Say that again. You were breaking up there on those.
Oh, okay. I hope it's not my internet. So, but I think, cash, that's, when we were opening our cards or whatever, weren't you just hoping everyone was like, okay, instead of a plate set, let's just get cash?
Well, yeah, I mean, because then like there's those things now where you can literally set up a fund for yourself rather than get like gifts. They'd have like it's called like honey pot or something, so you can contribute to
Ah.
your honeymoon or whatever. And I actually think I suggested that to Heidi, but Heidi was not into that idea. She thought it was tacky or something. But like I watch those mob movies, and these Italians they just hand each other envelopes full of cash. I was like, that seems pretty goddamn good to me.
Yeah, that's what I'm on that trolley from now on. We just went to my cousin's wedding, so it wasn't someone we don't care about or don't know very well as our cousin. It was like a big basically a family reunion, so it was nice. But yeah, I just
You gave him cash?
gave him a check. The
Oh,
old
check.
check. Oh, here's a little life hack for our listeners. If you are going to write a check to the married couple, write it out to just one of them.
Oh my gosh.
Don't write it out to both because it'll be a pain in the ass to cash it. If they haven't changed their name, they both have to sign all this shit. Just write it out to.
Welcome to my world. People
Oh,
do that to Heidi and I, for nice enough to give us a check as a present or something from the IRS or whatever. And I've made that mistake of trying to deposit it in one of our accounts. So that's why we have a savings account with both our names on it, just for that very reason, to be able
yeah.
to cash checks made out to both of us. So, yes, good.
You learned
Thing to
something on
know.
this thing.
That's right. Yeah.
Hey, should we pay some bills? Do we have a sponsor? Do you want to
Oh,
read?
well, I don't think you even said what you needed backup on.
That's what I needed backup on.
That was it?
That we should just that it's stupid and that we should do it. That see, you brought up a good point when you're like, well, it's tacky. We have to change the mindset and the perception. It's not tacky. It's old fashioned or it's not the norm. We need to change the norm to only brothers and sisters and parents and aunts and uncles should be expected to give a gift.
Yeah.
Everyone else, if you want to, great, but you're not a rude asshole if you don't, because
I like that. Because then it's like, are you only inviting us to get a get,
how much is yeah, because you're feeding them and you're paying for the seat, but come on.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm with you.
Was your
on
wedding
that.
big or little?
It was like smallish to medium size. We had less than 100 people.
Oh, see, I think we had almost 300.
Oh
I'm from
my
a
God.
huge family, though. I mean, it was basically
you've got like
all my family.
25 brothers and sisters. Did you was it like at a nice place? Like, did you spend a lot of money on it?
Well, we did it at the War Memorial, which is right next to the Milwaukee Art Museum. It's a really cool venue. It's like over Lake Michigan. It's,
Oh, I know where that is.
They do.
I know where that is. Yep.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, where the Abraham Lincoln statue is.
I
By
don't
that? No.
know. I don't. Is there? I could have missed it. I don't know.
Isn't that in Milwaukee?
I wasn't really paying attention that day. Is it on the War Memorial? What statue are you talking about? Is it like right out in
I don't
front?
know.
Because they got
I
all the
think
flags as you drive up to
I
it.
remember thinking it was funny that they had an Abraham Lincoln statue, and I was like, man, everybody claims Abraham Lincoln. There's like a statue of him, like and I was like, what does Milwaukee have to do with Abraham Lincoln? I remember having that thought, but I think I know. I know what. Looking over the lake.
You're driving down Wisconsin Avenue. It curves when you
Yeah.
get to the lake and turns into like Prospect or something. But if you keep going straight, there's the Milwaukee Museum. It's in one of the Transformers.
I know I've been there. I've been
It
there.
looks like a bird. It's like designed to be like a bird. And then
Yeah.
to the left is just this big square building, but it has this concrete terrace that's like right at the ceremony was outside, right by the ocean, and then you just go into the building for the reception.
think it's a
It was
lake.
perfect. It was what?
I think it's
Lake.
a lake.
Yeah, what did I say? Ocean? Lake Michigan, whatever. I wasn't paying attention. Anyway, but yeah, so we did that. Oh, and her friend's like a wedding planner, and her friend was like, this was key. Her friend was like, hey, this date opened up. You need to snag it right now because it'll go and then we Aaron said her uncle was in the war or something, so it was like $500 or something. Yeah,
Was
some
her-
distant relative that was because it's a
was
war
her
memorial.
Was her uncle actually in the war?
I don't know. Yes, we'll say yes. Since we're on wax, yes. I don't know what the deal is. You know, am I gonna get it? Am I? Is this what's gonna cancel me? Is that what's gonna happen?
No, I'm impressed.
Episode 65 is canceled.
I love it. Lying.
No,
about
she did have
military
some. She had some
status.
relative, but it was it was some.
Well, if you go back far enough, all of us have somebody.
That's
They
right.
got drafted.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
You could say, I don't have, maybe as a relative, maybe not, but I really rooted for us in those wars.
Does that give me a discount? Yeah. Promo code USA.
Yeah, I was like on pins and needles, when I was reading those history books. I wanted us to win. Okay.
Pins and needles. You weren't sure how it ended.
No, how would you know until you actually learn,
That's true.
So you had this, so you got the venue for cheap is what you're saying. You got the venue for $500.
Yeah, we got it
That's a
very
great deal.
affordable. Yeah, so that was nice. I mean, it was
But
it's
still
obviously
300
expensive
people.
because you got to feed everyone. Yeah, so that that shit was super expensive, but the venue, can be outrageous, and we really saved a lot of money. But yeah, we had such a huge party. Like I don't know how often this is the case where my wife had to add people. Because, usually the girl has all these friends, and then the guy has to be like, all right, I got to match your number so we're symmetrical. Because I have such a big family, I got 3 brothers, 3 brothers-in-law, and then, 4 brothers-in-law because her brother, So I only had, I think, 1 or 2, non-brother friends in the wedding party. And then my improv group was the ushers.
So we had similar thing. I had more. First of all, I had fewer, and then I had, I think, one of Heidi's had to drop out or something, and then I was like, you know what, I should add this buddy of mine, and then I was like, that opened up a whole, because you're like, if I let this person in, then it's technically they're as close as these.
Yeah.
So that opened up the floodgates. So I had this way. We weren't symmetrical at all. In fact, I was 2-1. So I had 2 people for every one of Heidi's.
Oh wow!
And they walked down the aisle like a weird,
2 guys with one girl.
Polyamorous couple or whatever. Everybody, 2 guys, 1 girl. So but no, I know what you mean. Just because you get the venue, so our venue was free. We did it at Heidi's uncle's house in Montana, but
Nice.
then that's fine. But then you rent everything, Then it's you rent chairs, you rent tents, you get catering, you got to get all the way up there. We had to rent bathrooms, we had to rent, So no matter what you do, it's expensive.
Yeah, brutal.
Oh, but pay some bills, you say?
Yeah, let's see who our sponsor is this week.
Well, this week's sponsor is Crate and Barrel's wedding registry app. Oh my God, what a coincidence! Do you have a wedding coming up, Johnny? No, you're married, but you don't have time to go shopping. You wouldn't want your close relative or spouse's friend's husband's college roommate to think you don't care, would you? Now you don't have to. Download the Crate and Barrel Wedding Registry app and sleep easy knowing that the perfect gift is just a click away. How many times have you been driving home from a wedding asking yourself, I wonder if my wife's old soccer teammate from high school is going to like the spoon I got her? Well, our app can't really assure you that they will, but if they have the app, at least you can rest easy knowing they asked for it. So if they don't like it, that's their fault, not yours. And the app only works if they have the app too and use it to register with. So please tell your friends and friends of friends about it. And if you download the deluxe version of the app, we'll send you alerts to your phone when their list goes down to the point where it's just the stupid shit left, like a fancy rolling pin or some fucking dumb framed print with a phrase on it like, this isn't a house, it's a home or some shit. Anyway, use the promo code Cavalry and 25% of your purchase total will be donated to some charity as far as you know. If you're married, then you know that all people really want is cash anyway. But if you're already on your way to the wedding, you don't have cash or your checkbook on you, this app can be pretty handy. The new Crate and Barrel wedding app.
Perfect. Thank you, Crate and Barrel Wedding app, for helping us out. Great.
By
How
the way,
fitting.
we put a rolling pin on our registry, got one, and never used it. Not
Nice.
once. It's a big, heavy, beautiful marble. I mean, it was a really cool rolling pin.
Is it still in the box?
I don't know. It didn't make it from LA. That's all I know.
Oh. Wow.
I hope whoever got that for us is not listening, but yeah. A lot of stuff didn't make it from LA, by the way. Like, and Heidi gives me shit all the time, like, oh, we have this great blender. Oh my God. All I ever hear about is this blender that somehow when we moved, I wanted to get rid of stuff. I was like, we don't need this. We don't need that. Let's just, because we only have this. I don't want to get the giant truck. I just want a regular truck. And now anytime anything's missing, it's like on me because I threw it away, which I didn't.
Oh, you were the judge. You were the one going through.
No, I compromised every time. I thought, but then sometimes stuff just gets lost,
Yeah. Trying to think what we left behind. I don't know. Oh, one of the bike wheels fell off on the drive, so that kind of got left behind, I guess.
Wait, off the back of the car, and
Yeah, it was on a bike rack on the back, and we got there, and the wheel was no longer
so
on
you
it.
caused one of those pileups you were talking about
I guess,
before,
maybe.
and you just had no idea. Because that's
Right.
what I was gonna say before. Like if a suitcase fell off my car I would not be going back for the clothes. I would be very tempted to just keep on driving and hope nobody ever caught me.
Just act surprised when you get there. Oh,
Yeah.
babe, your bag is gone.
Plead ignorance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, how we doing? Do we want to do more? Are we good?
Oh, I think we are about out of time.
This is the ideal time, right? We don't want to.
No, we don't want to push
have
it.
to go. Yeah, we don't want to push it.
We don't want to push it, and we want to save it for the post-show banner, so we don't want to give everything away for free on this.
Right.
shitty-
Or our second
just a
topics are weak. And we want a week to
Some
think
might
of a better
argue the
one.
first topics not that strong.
Some would argue.
No, that's it. Thank you everybody for listening. For those of you who do want more and want to stay tuned to the post-show banner, check out the patreon.com/the Cavalry podcast.
Yes, but I do want to add this. Patreon.com/the Cavalry podcast. However, I don't want our loyal listeners to feel like, oh, we're the leftover shit. Because this is great. If you're just a casual listener, we still love you. But we do have bonus stuff on the Patreon. Right?
Oh yeah, no. Was that the energy I was putting out there that
I just want to say, because I feel like
fuck you to the
all this keychain talk. We don't want to all this button talk.
Oh yeah. I'm sure the listeners who are not Patreon subscribers are like, oh, those bastards saving the good keychains.
Oh, but also, do you have any shows you want to plug? Because I just realized I think this comes out a week from this Monday. I guess that doesn't mean anything to them, but it comes out. I am going to be at the Jukebox Comedy Club in Peoria, Illinois, on the 23rd. Nope, never mind. I was just at the Jukebox Comedy Club this past Friday and Saturday, everyone.
Oh yeah, I was just at this will be the new gig. I was just at the Willamette Valley Comedy Club on Saturday, yesterday, last night. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. And,
well, here I do have all right. So here's my I do have August 13 and 14.
Okay.
Hyenas in Fort Worth, Texas, and then
Beautiful.
August 20th and 21st, I'm at Laughs in Tucson. Great club. That's where I recorded my last album.
All right. I am in August 27th, 28th, I'm in Medford, Oregon. That was a pretty fun gig.
Weren't you just making fun of that gig last week?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I was. Look how the mighty have fallen. Oh, and then the weekend before that, I'm doing the St. John's Comedy Festival here in Portland. So if anybody wants to show up. I don't know. Hopefully that I got my dates right. We'll see. And that's it. Thank you very much for listening, everybody. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave a 5-star review and what you need backup on in your life. We'll talk about it on the show. And we'll see you next time on
The Cavalry.
Cavalry.